What's up, family? Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Welcome to the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry podcast. Eat, Drink, and Be Merry podcast. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry podcast. Right now, we are on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and of course, YouTube and Facebook. So make sure you guys subscribe and leave a recommendation to the podcast if you are enjoying podcasts. A lot of podcasts. So when I woke up this morning, I didn't know I was going to do a podcast. But I ended up sharing a post that is catching a lot of attention. And it's a conversation that we need to have as a community. So I entitled this podcast, Black Men versus the Lesbian Woman. And I did that for a reason. Because from my experience, when Black men come across women who are in the same-sex relationship, there's some kind of pushback. I'm trying to find the post. Okay, here we go. So shouts out to this female. Her name is Sukiana the Goat. All she said was, a lot of men are complaining about modern women having masculine energy. Whole time it's y'all moving into her house, driving her car, on her phone plan, eating up her food, and putting everything y'all do in her name, but still expect to be dominant. Yeah, And I shared that post and I continued with my caption. So my caption is a continuance of what she said. Usually that's what you do. When you're sharing a post, you're going to put your spin on it in the caption part of your post. So that's what I did. So in continuance, I said, and throwing that submit word around. Submit to what? PP ain't never made me that dumb. My pops is a real one. I've seen how it's supposed to be done. Okay. Now let me read you the comments. The first comment on the post said, you're homosexual, right? No disrespect, but you have no fight in this issue. That's from a Black man named Antonio Ranson. So I'm gonna read you her post again. A lot of men are complaining about modern women having masculine energy. Whole time is y'all moving into her house, driving her car, on her phone plan, eating up her food, and putting everything y'all do on in her name, but still expect to be dominant. Yeah, alright. And I said, and throwing that submit word around. Nigga, submit to what? People ain't never made me that dumb. My pops is a real one. I've seen how it's supposed to be done. So he said I was contradicting myself by saying that I'm saying I know how it's supposed to be done because I saw my pops hold it down. Okay. If you know my story, which I would hope that if we're friends, you do know my story. Apparently he has been through my profile and I didn't know that we were friends. So I'm gonna go back through because I went through a cleaning spree. As y'all can see, I only have 800 people on here because I go through a cleaning spree every year of just removing random people. All right. But I tried to have, I tried to be able to agree to disagree. So I thought we got somewhere after I said what I said. And he said, okay. What's up, Jen?
Hello?
You can hear me? Hey, can you hear me? You're on the live. I don't hear you anymore if you're talking. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm just going through the explanation of the post.
It's early in the day, Nita. You gonna get a lot of people to join in?
Well, I already tagged some people because a lot of people are acting on the thing. I probably won't be on tonight.
Okay.
But if you want, you can state your opinion from when you saw the post or whatever you want to talk about.
Now, what is the topic again? I just seen that it said you want me to join. What is the topic?
I was just talking about the post that I put up.
Okay. About submitting to men?
Yeah, the post wasn't really about submitting to men. It was a continuance. That's why I was saying.
Oh, okay.
A lot of men are complaining about modern women having masculine energy. Whole time is y'all moving into her house, driving her car, on her phone, playing, eating up her food, and putting everything y'all do in her name, but still expect to be dominant. Yeah, I continued what she said from what I've been seeing lately being shared across social media. And I said, and throwing that submit word around. Niggas submit to what? PP ain't never made me that dumb. My pops is a real one. I've seen how it's supposed to be done. And so the reason why I said it is because if the woman is the woman has the home and the woman has a car and the woman has the phone plan and the woman has the food and whatever you want, you have to get it in that woman's name, then the only thing you're coming to the table with is your penis. And a lot of modern men feel that that's enough.
You think so?
I think so.
I think it's deeper than that. I think it's deeper. I think the whole so-called black community, because I'm trying to get away from black and African American. I think the whole so-called black American community is at a divide, especially the men and women. And I think that's why no one can come to like an agreement on how the black household should be ran. When I think of community and households, I think of like parents. Like what examples did I see coming up from my parents, and what example did he see coming up from, his parents? You know what I'm saying? And I just think that we had a lot of destruction in our so-called communities, and here we are, the example of that. You know what I'm saying? Blaming each other instead of coming together to, you know what I'm saying, to better this situation for the next generation and next generation to come. And I don't feel like this is the way to go about it. It shouldn't be, I should be blaming you and you should be blaming me. We should figure out what the real issue is. What is the mental health issue? Why we are at a big, great divide. In that situation, which in that post, that individual post that you just read, in that circumstances, yes, I don't think that you're a man if you just try to come and lay up in a woman's house and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And just try to eat all her food, take from her kids, play her kids' video games, and you sit up in the house all day taking her to work in her car. No, you're not a good example of a man. You know what I'm saying? And where did you get that from? You know?
But that's
Now, and what kind of woman are you that you would allow that? Now you gotta.
if you go in the comments, first off, like you said, we got to get to the root of the problem. But at the same time, you can only help somebody who feels that they have a problem. Like they say, if the person has an addiction, right? If they're addicted to alcohol or drugs, the only way that they're going to be helped is the first identify that I have an issue. So the majority of these men who are spewing this garbage don't feel like they have an issue. They don't feel like they have daddy issues. They feel like the world owes them. That's the mentality that they have. They feel like I'm the man because I was born a man and you're supposed to submit to me. But there is a structure. Like if you come up in church, they tell you there's God first, then that man, then that woman, then the child. You get what I'm saying? But right now, ain't nobody talking about God, you know, and the man is not supposed to, the modern men are not holding their end of the bargain. The woman is going to work.
So do you think,
the woman,
so I see you put a lot of emphasis on the men. I see you put a lot of emphasis on the men. Do you not hold women accountable for some of that either?
I do hold women accountable, but that's the problem in our community as well. What I was talking about, we can talk all day about there's always going to be another issue. There's always going to be another issue. What we have to do as a culture, Black, white, Puerto Rican, and Haitian, is if I'm talking about this particular topic today, let's stick to that particular topic. Today we're talking about a lot of men are complaining. That's what the issue is. That's what we're talking about. A lot of men are complaining about modern women. A lot of men are complaining about modern women. So yeah, there are women who say a little piece of a man is better than none. And they'll accept that because that's just what it is. But you can't get mad at the woman who says, you know, I'd rather be by myself, or I'd rather be with a white man, or I'd rather be with another woman than to sit here and get bashed and feel like I need to do more and more and more and more to please somebody who don't know what they want. We have been in the culture. We came up in that culture of my girl got a girlfriend. I like girls who like girls. I want to do all these different things. And then when you raise up a group, a generation of women who say, hey, I do like girls. Now that same man or that production of the men who said my girl got a girlfriend, their children are intimidated by the girl who likes the girls. Whereas that man who was saying my girl got a girlfriend would like what he created, would like this new generation. So I know men right now who have wholesome women, who have women that cook, clean, and do whatever they want to do. But then they also, I hate when you turn around and say, hey, I like that ratchet shit. I like that ratchet shit. I like them. I like that Glorilla type shit.
Let's get back to the root of the post. The post is saying that a lot of men, I don't think that we can ignore that. I think we want to kind of push. I think a lot of women want to push the man's thoughts like it's nothing. And I don't know where that comes from.
No,
but the post said that a lot of men are not feeling to this degree. I can't remember what it said verbatim, but something along the lines of that. A lot of Black women are very masculine. So why do a lot of our men, I think we're missing that. Why do a lot of our men feel that way about us? Are we not looking in the mirror and saying that, hey, possibly they are right? Okay. I think it's like, oh, hell no, nigga, you crazy. I ain't that fucking way. You fucking stupid, nigga. I think a lot of responses goes that way, and it goes left because there's no accountability.
Because you want to go to the root of the problem of the man. You want to go to the root of the problem of the man without going to the root of the problem of the entire thing. The root of the problem is that the man is missing in the woman and in the child's life. So whether it's a boy or girl, they need that father figure. The father figure is not there. So then you have a generation of men who resent their mother because all she could show him was the feminine side, even though she is operating in her masculine energy. What is masculine and feminine energy? The majority of women would love to operate in their feminine energy. But when you have to do the work, when you have to make decisions, these are masculine traits. That's not opinion. These are facts. If I got to get out and work, and the majority of our jobs are not computer jobs, it's hauling. The last job that I was on, I was washing cars in the rain, sleet, snow, vacuuming cars. That's not feminine at all. Was that a choice? No, that was all at that time. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of men would see presented on social media, right? And because I am a rapper, because of my swag, because the way I like to dress, they assume that I am feminine. And when they see me in person, what did they say? Oh my gosh, you're very feminine. Yes, because when a woman feels safe, when a woman feels secure, she operates. You don't have to tell her to submit. If there is a man that's speaking and I trust what he is saying, I feel that what he's saying is right, I won't open my mouth because I don't have to. But if I am not secure in his securitization,
okay, I respect what you're saying, Anita. I respect exactly what you're saying, right? And to be realistic, you are taking it from your point of view, and I get it. This is your personal situation, and I get it. Where a lot of us come from our personal situation. I'm talking about as a whole. We have a whole. I'm just going to talk about the men right now, and then I'm going to say something about the women.
I'm saying
think that our men are not hold up. You have a whole lot of black women that think that our men are not stepping up to the plate, right? So it's like, okay, why are we not why are we not holding ourselves accountable? Why are we not looking in the mirror and saying, hey, our women might have a point, or hey, our men might have a point. Why is this man not around? How many women have told these children fathers, fuck you? How many of these women were fucking around with married men and wound up getting pregnant? Like, I mean, it may not be to that degree, but I'm just saying we have to be realistic. You can't just be like, all men are just not around. How many men try and fight to be in their children's lives, and these mothers give them a hard fucking time? That's masculine energy. Nobody want to talk about that. You got a lot of women out here, Nita. A lot of them.
That's not masculine energy. That's not
So
masculine
what is
energy.
that? What is that? What is that when you tell a man, hey, I don't need you? First of all, when he wasn't shit before you got pregnant and you allowed yourself to get pregnant from this no shit ass man, and then now you have a child by this no shit ass man, he's still the father. So when you tell him, fuck you, I don't need you, I could do this by myself, what type of energy is that? That's not masculine energy. What is it?
That's not masculine energy. That's the wrong energy.
Right?
Masculine energy. When you're dealing with energy, feminine energy is peace. Feminine energy is nurturing. Masculine energy is working, putting things together, making decisions.
Pause.
That's it.
So when you tell that man, fuck you, I don't need you, now you putting yourself in a position where you have to be masculine, because now you got to go out here and do all this stuff by yourself to make sure that you and that child is taken care of. So in a form, even though that is negative perception, I mean, under that umbrella, you're going to have to get into your masculine energy, because you're going to have to wind up taking care of that household by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
With what you're saying. I agree with everything that you're saying. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is you're off topic. And the reason why you're off topic is because she's talking about a specific type of men. She's not talking about all men. She's talking about the man that is living off of the woman, using her house and her car and her phone and eating up her food and putting everything in her name and still expected to be dominant. She's not talking about all men. And that's the problem that we see these posts that come up. We react off of, I might prick something in you. And the reason if I might prick something in you is because you're one of these things. So the people that are responding negatively, like you said, if you go on the post, you'll see men on here that are agreeing with what I'm saying. They are agreeing with, they're checking this dude. Like, nah, this dude says these dudes be bum in real life. And I've never seen so many, especially since I moved here, for my girl to tell me I'm the first guy she knew with all three: a house, a career, and a car speaks volumes. A bum dude ain't gonna have nothing but one thing, and that's the audacity. That's a man checking another man. I ain't have to open my mouth no more, because men are on here checking that man. That's what we'll get to in order for us to get to the next level. As a culture, we gotta let men check men. We can't keep
all right, so from that post,
the root of the problem is buck breaking and slavery. The root of the problem is the slave masters tore our family apart. Okay, but now it becomes a decision. It becomes
okay, yeah, because we're in a place with information now. We are presented with information and we know. But my thing is, what type of woman are you? What type of woman are you? Nobody, I don't think anybody said that on that post. Well, what type of woman are you to allow a man to live in your house like that?
because
We have to, let me tell you something. Women are the root of the community.
but
And I don't think that we realize how much. Now, a man is going to do what the fuck you allow his ass to do. If you got this man, if you be like, okay, you're going to get up and go to work and you don't say nothing to him and he a bum ass nigga, he going to continue to be a bum ass nigga because you're going to allow that to be in your household. Why did no one say, wait a minute, how you saying this and saying that? But what type of woman would allow that? I know I wouldn't. Would you allow that, Nita? Would, you know,
okay,
when
no,
you were
no,
whatever, would
no.
you have allowed that?
And
Okay.
why? That's the point. The women that don't allow it, they label us as masculine. They label us as masculine women because I would choose to be alone before I be with somebody like that. I would choose, like, he brought up my sexual preference, which my sexual, or the relationship that I am in. Society calls me a homosexual because I am with a woman. I chose to be with a woman, not because I was hurt by a man. I chose to be with a woman because I fell in love with this woman at this particular time in my life.
And my cousin is cute though, and she is cute. She cute for real. She cute for real. My cousin cute. But listen, so okay, so that's, I guess that's what I'm missing. What did this person say to you that made you want to, you know, like say get this podcast?
He told me, you're homosexual, right? No disrespect, you have no fight in this issue. How do you mean I have no fight in this issue?
Oh, okay.
All the homosexuals, then you get rid of Angela Davis, you get rid of James Baldwin, you get rid of all these people who were gay. We found out later that don't got nothing to do with the fight. They don't have nothing to do with the cause. If we're talking about y'all gotta get off.
I'm kind of Nita, you know, Nita, I consider myself to be a realist. And in a certain degree, I kind of understand what he's saying, and then I kind of understand why you would get offended. You know what I'm saying? Because
like y'all got
no, don't categorize me. I'm just saying, like, okay. I thought you were offended. My fault. You're not offended.
I'm not offended.
Okay.
One thing that a pet peeve of mine is ignorance, right? Not calling you ignorant.
Right.
A pet peeve of mine is when I'm stating every time one of us decides to voice our opinion or defend ourselves, we are categorized as you're too emotional or you're offended. Why are you getting upset? Because you don't seem to understand. And I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm just saying the people that I can't stand that. The point that bothers me, the thing that aggravates me on any post, not just this post, is if I'm speaking about one particular thing, that's like, for example, the guy got shot down by cops, and we're making a post RIP to this particular person who was shot down by cops, and somebody gets on that post and say, but what did he do to deserve it? What the hell does that have to do with this particular conversation? Do you get what I'm saying? So
okay, so
talking about,
right. Go ahead.
He says a lot of men are about modern women having masculine energy. Whole time is y'all moving into her house, driving her car on her phone, playing, eating up her food, and putting everything y'all do on in her name, but still expect to be dominant. Yeah, and then I said, and throwing that submit word around, niggas submit to what? PP ain't never made me that dumb. My pops is a real one. I've seen how it's supposed to be done. What does that have to do with you're homosexual, right? No disrespect, but you have no fight in this issue. You said I'm a homosexual, not me. You don't know what I do in my bedroom, and it should not be of any of your concern.
I mean, I think we all can have an opinion about whether you know, whatever, same sex, straight, whatever, right? You can all have an opinion about the topic You know what I'm saying? So, and then you did relate it to when you were in whatever heterosexual relationship. Your response was when you was in a heterosexual relationship. So I don't know why he came for you. That was kind of odd because you did. Now, if you, to me, in my opinion, if you would have responded like, do you know what I'm saying? Like if you was responding to like if you were in a relationship now with the same sex, then I can kind of understand why he would probably come at you like that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's my
But
point. You don't know what I am in. You know what you see. You don't know what I am in. You don't know what I do. You don't know who I'm sleeping with. You don't know. You don't know. So why not stick to what we're talking about? Because right now, when you do that, we lose sight, and then there becomes an argument. There was no argument. And if you're not this person, if you're not that type of dude that she is describing, then why are you offended? Why are you defending men in general? Because she's not talking about men in general. She's talking about.
So do you think? So do you think that he defended men when he said that to you? You think he was defending men when he said it to you, or he just said that? I don't think that. This is how I took it. I took it as, you know what I'm saying. And if we're gonna have these conversations, like people can come for me and stuff like that, and I still have to be kind of like, you know what I'm saying, in a way, as long as they don't get like hella disrespectful, right? But I took it as he's saying like, I mean, if you're in a same-sex relationship, I don't understand how this can be whatever. Now that was kind of crazy because when you tagged the post and you put your words on it, you took it from an aspect of when you were in a heterosexual relationship. So that's why I don't understand why he came for you like that. But in a way, I do understand because it's like, well, if this is, you know, men and women that are trying to be in a heterosexual relationship, you know what I'm saying, then like, what is the point of like, you know what I'm saying, like coming for the person like that, coming for the man like that, you know what I'm saying, because that's not really a concern.
What that does is that brings the separation. What that does is that divides people from missing the purpose of the conversation and picking a side. You get what I'm saying? He just created an argument in the comment section, not about what
for no reason.
About. Not
he probably like you, Nita. He probably like you, you know, and he probably figured he ain't got a chance to get with you or whatever. But yeah, what he said should not have been, you know what I'm saying? He probably could have inboxed you that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. He didn't have to put that on, right? Because that had nothing to do with the whole topic. It had nothing to do with it. So he had no reason to even say that. So I get what you're saying.
That's why I titled this live Black Men versus the Lesbian Woman. Because from my experience, what I see is that when Black men find out, from my experience, when a Black man has found out that I am with a woman, their energy shifts. It's like they don't know what to do. You get what I'm saying? Like you can look at the majority of what they call studs or dykes or whatever, and you can tell the ones who feel like they are a man, right?
Yeah, because my daughter is, and I don't want to mess up the colloquialism or whatever. My daughter is LBGQT or whatever. Okay, so I do get it. I have well. Let me first and foremost let me say this. Okay, I don't support it, but I will never disrespect anyone because of what they choose to do. You know what I'm saying? And I keep it 1,000 with my daughter. And some people may not like it. And my daughter didn't understand it at first, but now, because I kind of feel like this: if I don't teach my daughter, the world will. But then they're not going to teach her in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be harsh on her, just like how this man is coming for you on the book, and you know how to handle it. That's how I kind of want my daughter to be. I don't want her to be like, you know, everybody don't have to accept your lifestyle, but that don't mean that they got to disrespect you either. And just because everybody don't like the lifestyle, don't mean that they don't like you. It is what it is. I'm not forcing you to like my lifestyle, so it is what it is. But that don't mean that if it comes to like a general conversation that has to be brought up. We human beings at the end of the day, and if we're trying to fix our communities, then we're trying to fix our communities. And I don't see where him saying that has any justification on trying to fix the issue. You are a human being, despite of whatever you choose to do behind closed doors. You're a human being. I feel like you're a very intelligent human being. So I don't feel like that was like right of him to come for you in this aspect. Now, if we were talking about, sexuality, then that would be different. Mm-hmm. But we're talking about men that want to lay up in these women's houses and don't want to take accountability and take responsibility for what they do. And for some reason, when you don't want to be with those type of men, they label you as being masculine. Is that what I'm understanding what this to be? Yeah. And I just don't see, I don't know why any man would want to label you masculine if you don't want to deal with that type of lifestyle. If you don't want to live like that. If I'm getting up here busting my ass to go to work and stuff like that, you sit up in my house, I'm gonna change the locks. I'm gonna get you out my house and I'm gonna change the locks. I have never dealt with that. And me personally, I don't know any women that put up with that. So that post to me was just kind of like an easy target to me. It's just like a distraction. To me, it's bullshit. Do you know a lot of women like that, Nita?
I know. I know a lot of women that kept them around because a lot of people, when you looking now, we can go back to the history of the Black woman. We are taught to hold our man down through the dick and the thin and the mud and stick with him until like pour into his dreams where he can get there. So at this time, I know people who were pouring into their men, and that man never rose to the occasion. By this time, you got 4 kids or 5 kids or 6 kids or 3 kids by these men that's not gonna get no better. But at this time, it's like, dog, ain't nobody gonna accept me with all these kids, so I might as well stay with them. That's one situation. Or women who were married to men who started off good and they go through a midlife crisis and they want something different. They don't want their family no more. They want to get out and they want to live. They probably got married young. And now they want to explore their royal oats and they just walk away from their family. I've seen that woman is stuck now with 3 kids and she got to fend for herself. She has to be that masculine energy. And what I want our men to realize is that the majority of Black women do not want to be masculine. They have to be. The majority of Black women do not want to be masculine, especially the ones above 30. The ones above years old, we don't want that. The ones from, I would say, from the 80s babies, we don't want to be masculine. We want to know that we're secure. We want to know when we out in the streets, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I done been with small men, but their persona, their demeanor, their trust in themselves, and words to me made me know that nothing was gonna happen to me. So it don't matter the size or anything like that. It's their swag, it's their demeanor, it's their trust in themselves, their securitization in themselves that securitizes that woman. So if that woman is secure, you don't have to throw that word around. Submit, she gonna do it. If you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, that woman, the majority of the women, if you got the right woman,
there you go. I like that.
Y'all
the right woman.
They're choosing the right ones because they're fun. They out in the clubs. They're not. That's the one who's been your
wife. They ain't about to wife that. They ain't about to wife that. They go, yeah.
They're wifing that, and when they get what they get, then they say that all women ain't shit, and that's not the case. They'll say that, oh, I love the natural Black woman, but then you'll laugh at them. These are Black men that are laughing at women who cut their hair and their hair short, and they're just starting over. They're laughing at these Black women. It's not easy to cut your hair. It's not easy to start over.
Tell me about it, girl. I'm growing mine back now.
Huh?
It's not. I said I'm growing my hair back now. But my man love it though, So you're right. You gotta have the right man, and you gotta have that confidence in yourself. I also think that when we allow religion in our communities, and we took their marriage vows or wedding vows, you know what I'm saying, for better or worse. I think a lot of people leave when it gets worse. And I kind of feel like, you know, whatever, if you subscribe to God or whatever, he didn't really give you a definition of worse. So when I ask people what is worse, you know, they give me what their definition is. And maybe it's whatever you can put up with. But I just think that no one leaves when it gets good, 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 or better, better, better. It gets better, better, better. No one leaves, right? Because it feels good. But when your wedding, when your marriage is worse, people ready to leave. And I always ask people, are we obeying the wedding? Are you obeying wedding vows? Or are you disobeying wedding vows?
Mm-hmm.
When it gets worse. Does that make sense? I think a
Facts,
lot
yeah.
of people leave when it get worse, and I just think society has a big impact on that because it tells women what they should and what they should not put up with. No, I don't think that you should stay with a man if he beating your ass, he about to kill you. But just like go through shit too. Our men have it hella fucking harder than us out here on these jobs, dealing with these crackers every day, trying to be funny, but hella worse than us. You know what I'm saying? They'll give us ample opportunities before they'll give it to them. And I kind of feel like the best thing for our black men is to have trades. I don't think they should get out here and try to bust their ass and become a corporate and all the stuff like that, because all they're going to do is get ridiculed. Even us, even women, they're going to, I don't care how much degrees you have, they're going to try to ridicule you, belittle you. You know what I'm saying? You can have more degrees and more education than whatever your white co-worker Sally, and you know what I'm saying, they'll give her a raise quicker than they'll give you one. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like the best thing for us are trades where we can be our own bosses and grow from that. However, if a man is beating your ass, damn, they're trying to kill you, no, you don't stay in no shit like that. Absolutely not. But I often question, like, you know, do we leave when it's worse, and are we supposed to leave when it's worse? You know what I'm saying? If that's what's in the vows, you know what I'm saying. And I also feel like, you know, we should not define our relationships to people or compare them to other people, because you don't know what that woman got to do to keep that man. You don't know what that man got to do to keep that woman. Whatever you got going on with your partner, y'all build from that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't need to know what you got going on in your relationship. Maybe I'm just gonna take it from. I'm just gonna say this. Maybe she was with him for 3 or 4 years and he was holding shit down. Something happened and she had to take over for about 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, why was that not put up there? It's always like, you know, all these niggas ain't shit, and it's like, why do we feel this way about each other?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
why do we dislike each other? Why do we get on social media and bash each other so badly?
mm-hmm.
That shit bothers me a lot, and it shows weakness in our communities, especially from other people, other, like foreigners and white people. It shows like, oh, look at them. We can easily get them because look at them. They arguing over you know, a man, whatever, being in the house. Like they just look at us like we're stupid. Not saying that we should care about what they think about us, but you know what I'm saying? Like if we don't come together as a people, we're gonna perish. We're gonna perish.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
really are. And so that's just my take on that, Nita. You know what I'm saying? I was just when I seen your thing, I was like, well, I kind of skimmed past it. So I did that was my fault for not like reading the whole thing. And I just kind of skimmed past it. I was like, what's she talking about? Like, what you mean? Like, cause you got a penis, a woman goes like what? I didn't know what you were saying. So, you know what I'm saying? My fault for not looking at the whole thing. And you know what I'm saying? Like probably asking you first or whatever like that. Yeah, but I just hate the fact that we just get on here and it's such a divide. Do you
Yeah.
agree with me? It
I
is
agree.
such
Yeah.
it is such a divide in our communities, and I really want to try to get to the root of the issue. I want to have a podcast with just men,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to hear their perspective on it, because I think that we have enough podcasts listening to women, and this is the issue that a lot of women have with me, because I hold us accountable. I don't play with black women at all, and I love us, and I kind of feel like if I keep agreeing with your bullshit, I'm not helping you heal. I'm not helping you grow. You're not helping me grow. If you see me do some bullshit, hold me accountable. Be like, Jen, Why are you talking to that man like that?
Mm-hmm.
Nita, why are you talking to, you know what I'm saying? Jessica, why are you talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to hold ourselves accountable,
Facts.
because I kind of feel like if you want a man to be like whatever, you have to kind of paint that picture. You have to kind of show how you want to be treated. You have to be that reflection that you want. So if you're giving off that kind of negative energy, I don't think men are just going just, I'm not saying all men, because you do got some dogs out there, but I don't think that the dogs, right, and the no-gooders and the shitheads should overpower all black men. I don't think the ratchets and the hood rats and the ones that choose to be having all these different baby daddies so they can have Section 8 and housing and shit like that should overpower all black women.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's where we're at. And I think we got the hood rats and the no good men dominating our communities, and that is a big fucking problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that is a big problem. And I think we have to figure out, why are we allowing them to be our damn title, our book title to the fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
And
I'm
that
saying?
it takes us having these conversations. And you're not the only person I invited. I invited a couple of the guys. I know one of them is at work, but I did invite a couple of the people that were supposed to, join in. So I thank you for coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a close you out
Okay,
to
all right,
try to
cool.
come in, but I do appreciate it. And like, it's gonna take us coming together to see each other's point of view. Like I said, if we don't get on live, you can't discuss everything in a text message. Sometimes it
Right.
has to be verbal. That's why I said I'm gonna be on live in a minute, where you can see where I'm coming from. Like it might come off wrong in a text or anything like
I
that, but if we
agree.
learn to agree to disagree, like I said, I agree with everything that you said 100%. But the whole point of the post, I don't want people to miss the point, and I think that's why a lot of division is taking place in our community, because we are speaking on things that don't need to be spoken on at certain times. You get what I'm
There you
saying?
go. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay, boo. Now just keep me posted about the next one, okay?
I sure will. I appreciate you.
All right,
All
bye-bye.
right.
Do I have to come out of there?
Must be because it's a viewer. Nah, you probably X on
Do
your.
you want to stop? Yeah. Okay, I gotta leave it. All right. See you later, boo.
All right, boo. All right. So, shouts out to Jen the Express. She makes some bomb treats and cakes, and so y'all go hit her up. But yeah. So I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. The post that I put up that caused all this nonsense. I won't say nonsense. The caused this ruckus. It says a lot of men are complaining about. The woman said a lot of men, not all. A lot of men are complaining about modern women having masculine energy. Whole time is y'all moving into her house, driving her car, on her phone plan, eating up her food, and putting everything y'all do in her name, but still expect to be dominant. Yeah, all right. And then I said, and throwing that submit word around, submit to what? People ain't never made me that dumb. My pops is a real one. I've seen how it's supposed to be done. I was called pretty much a hypocrite, because how can I say I saw how it was supposed to be done, but I'm a homosexual. Um, but like I said, nobody knows what anybody does in their bedroom. That's all I'm gonna say. So that ain't got nothing to do with the post. And what I want y'all to stop doing, which is what I was saying earlier, learn to keep scrolling if that post is not talking about you. If you are not a man who is living in another woman's house and not contributing, this post ain't for you. If you are not a man that don't have your own phone plan and you on your girlfriend's phone plan and she paying that bill, this post is not for you. If you are not a man that is living and eating up that woman's EBT or the groceries that she puts in the house, if you're not that man doing that, this post is not for you. If you're not a man that's driving your girl's car and dropping her off to work and you ain't going to work, you just riding the block. If you're not that type of man, this post is not for you. So if you comment negatively on this post as a man, everyone is going to assume that you are doing one of these things. And if you are doing one of these things, then this post is for you. Now, one thing that Jen said is maybe she was going through a rough patch, or maybe that man is going through a rough patch and he needs that woman to hold him down. Listen, me and my wife, I went to work on somebody else's job to support my wife and put her through school. I did that after, maybe 2 years after she graduated, because I wanted to keep insurance on all of us. Life insurance and stuff. Health insurance and all of that. When I decided to come off the job and pursue entrepreneurship 100%, we went half and half. And then recently, she had to hold it down. Now she's in a shop, right? She's in a shop, and I had to have time to study, right? But guess what? Even though she had to hold down the bills for a certain particular couple of months, sorry, the countryness is coming out, because I was able to study and learn things, I was able to pay off, discharge the home. So now she ain't got no bill, no house payment. She has a brand new Mercedes because of my mind. Not because I was working, but because she allowed me to have time to study, right? So that I can do what needed to be done, right? So I don't believe in leaving a person when they down. I believe in letting men build themselves up. But you gotta try. Now if it ain't, if we going on 5 years and kids is coming, baby, that's gonna have to not be 100%. You gonna have to go back to work and maybe work part-time. You gotta help me. You get what I'm saying? But the whole purpose, and let's change that, because I feel like we already went through what we needed to go through when it came down to the post. But the reason why I labeled the podcast episode as Black Men versus Lesbians is because I want the division to stop. Like I was saying earlier, before I got cut off, was that when black men see or realize, because I get approached, right? When they realize, like some of them now, when they realize that, oh, you with a woman, this type 1, y'all need a partner. Type 2, oh, my bad, I didn't know. Type 3, you start treating me like a man. You get what I'm saying? Not because I act like a man, but because you find out who I'm sleeping with. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be a man. If you knew me my whole life, this was always me. How you see me right now has always been me. And the majority of people will tell you, no, Nina's not masculine at all. What they call, I'm learning this stuff now, because like I tell people all the time, my wife is the first and only woman I've ever been with. I've been with men my entire life. So I'm learning these words. I don't consider myself a homosexual. People tell me I'm a homosexual. I don't consider myself a part of the LGBT or whatever it is. I don't consider myself a part of any kind of label. I am who I am. I don't try to force my lifestyle on anybody, but I don't hide it either. Now, if you see me on the streets, or if you see me wherever, you're not going to see me all kissed up or hung up in some corner. That's not what I do. I didn't do it when I was with a man. So if we're talking about one thing and you change the topic to something else, or to who I'm sleeping with, that you just created division right there, because you're missing the point and it was unnecessary. So if we're talking about one particular thing, what do who I'm sleeping with got to do with that? That's why there's division in our community, because we lack education, we lack understanding. A lot of y'all cannot read to comprehend. And that's just it. That's the confusion. You think that everybody is speaking to you. If it don't concern you, if we walking somewhere and you be like, dang, you ugly, I'm not gonna get offended. I know I ain't ugly. So why would I respond to that? You get what I'm saying? And anybody, if y'all want to get on, feel free to discuss your thoughts. But there shouldn't be a division between the black man and the lesbian black woman, because the majority of women who are with women don't want to be men. The majority of women who are with women don't have anything against men. Some people just like what they like. You'd be surprised. It could be a lot of poly situations going on, but y'all not secure, men. You're not secure. So what do you want? What do you want for real? Like a lot of men really need to get down into the nitty gritty and describe, put it on paper. I think that's Ephesians. Write the vision and make it plain. Write the vision and make it plain. Because a lot of y'all saying that y'all want one thing, but you go the opposite way. You want a nice, wholesome girl, but you go after the ratchets because that's what you really like. You want a woman that stays home and not in these streets, but you go after the ratchet ones. And that's who you're giving your money to. And then you have nothing to give to the woman that's staying at home. She's boring. She's not interesting enough. What do you want? I'm tired of all this fake stuff. Yet you bash a body like Mary J. Blige. That's a real body. She's over 50 years old and can still get in a bikini. She might have a little cellulite. That's the black woman body. Y'all done got used to these fake booties that's not jiggling, that's not moving, that's stiff. These big behind booties, these little tiny waists, and skinny legs. That's not appealing at all. That is not appealing at all. And it's very unsafe. Do you know naturally, women, this is for y'all. Y'all running to get in these booties and titties and all that. Do you know that we shrink as we get older? Women, we lose bones as we get older. Y'all are gonna be humped back. You're gonna be too heavy in the front. So I don't even know if you're gonna be humped back because you got too much in the front and in the back, and then your legs, then your thighs ain't big enough to hold all that. But back to the point. Let's get back to the point. Let's get back on topic. There shouldn't be any division. All lesbian women, all black lesbian women do not want to be men. All black lesbian women do not hate black men. All black lesbian women were not molested. A lot of them were. A lot of the ones that don't want you to touch them, a lot of the ones that portray themselves as a man, a lot, not all, but a lot of them type were raped. So like they say, you have to get back to the root of the issue. Don't look at me. I put in a lot of work for the culture. I'm not going to let nobody come at me a certain type of way. Because it's always the ones that ain't doing nothing that got so much to say about the ones that are. I'm not offended by somebody coming and saying, oh, you got no, people told me I had no fight, no, how you put that thing? You have no cause in this fight. People told me that when I was bringing down Derek Grace. Derek Grace is not a millionaire. When I was bringing down Young Pharaoh is now a millionaire. When I was bringing down, like, I did this for the culture. I did this for South Carolina. I'm true to this. I ain't do this for no money. Because the majority of y'all ain't even showed up when I brought these people to your front door. You got on a little bit too late. When I was talking about the Queen of Fools and the Dr. Sabies and the Dr. Layla Africa, Dr. Layla Africa then died. Dr. Sabi didn't kill him off. Queen of Fool, I have personal relationships with this queen, with this treasure. Brotha Truth, Kevin Wesley. I did this for the culture. What does me being gay have to do with what I put out into the community? Brotha Truth taught me how to use your brain and how to use the law to own your property, to own your vehicles. And I brought him to you. Kevin Wesley showing you how to be into a poly relationship, how to make it work, how to be a man, how to have your women submit to you. If you walking upright, if you being that God that a lot of y'all claim to be, y'all don't want to be that God. A lot of you, not all of you. Y'all don't want to be that God. You want to be that nigga. And the majority of the black women don't want that nigga. We want a God. So if somebody is not speaking to your situation, don't comment on it. Because that's when you're causing an issue. That causes division. That causes an argument because now we're getting off topic. Like I said, this post, she was talking about a particular type of person. And she didn't say all men. She said a lot of men. So why are you triggered if she's not talking about you? If you're not one of those people? And the reason why I said what I said and throwing up the submit word, because I seen the post. A lot of dudes talk about, yeah, if she submit to you and she only submitting to you because you got money. If you lost your money today, then she gone. Well, a lot of dudes, why are you with your woman? Mm-hmm. There's something that you want from her. Usually it's sexually. And if she stopped doing what you want sexually, you no longer want her. So if yours is sex and hers is security, then what's the difference? Stop making women feel bad for wanting security. That don't make sense. What is she trusting you with? One of the biggest things that scared me when I first got into my current relationship, we were just talking, and I remember her falling asleep, and it hit me. I was like, I remember saying, this is why men run. Because I felt this woman trusts me with her life. And I got scared, y'all. So what happens when you're scared? Either you're going to run or you're going to step up to the plate. So I had to tap into that masculine energy to go out there and wash them cars in the rain, sleet, heat, snow. But when I got off the job, I was me. There's women out there on the battlefields with men getting shot, getting killed. That's their masculine energy. That don't mean they're masculine. That don't mean they're trying to be a man. But right now, at that particular time, they have to operate in that masculine energy. So when you're dealing with women who are in the working field, they are masculine at that time. That's energy. We got to learn the definition of things. That is her operating in her masculine. She's making decisions. She's handling situations. So when you see people talking about masculine, just because you're a man, just because you're born with a penis and testicles, doesn't mean that you're operating in your masculine energy. A lot of y'all are operating in your feminine energy. You're complaining about situations and not getting it done. That's why they used to say the woman is the person who can express herself. Right now, a lot of y'all don't want us to express ourselves. When we express ourselves, oh, you emotional. Why are you emotional? Why are you not? It's not my fault that you don't know how to communicate. how to verbalize what you're feeling. That's not my fault. And I'm not emotional because I'm expressing how I feel. I'm telling you how I feel. When you do this, this hurts me. You're supposed to be able to say, and when you do that, that hurts me. Or I apologize. I didn't see it that way. Instead, you block out everything I'm saying and you're acting like I'm attacking you. I'm not attacking you. I'm just expressing that, hey, this is not working for me. Sometimes you're not always going to be the answer. Sometimes you're not always going to be right. Sometimes you're not always going to be enough. Sometimes you're not always going to be the one that that woman wants. Sometimes. And at those times, she should be secure enough to be able to express that. And you should be secure enough within yourself to be able to hear it. But a lot of y'all can't handle what your woman really wants. A lot of y'all wouldn't be able to handle if your woman told you, you're not the best I ever had. A lot of y'all wouldn't be able to handle if the woman said, maybe, can we try this? Can you do this? Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I didn't been with 50 million women. Everybody like that. What y'all gotta realize is that when a woman wants you and when she love you, it ain't always because you're the best. It's because she wants you. Follow me. How you know? I'm a woman. A lot of times, the woman wants you to be the one. It's not because you are the best person in the world, sexually, financially, or any of that. It's because she wants you. But y'all get so big-headed. A lot of y'all, not all of y'all. You get so big-headed and make it about you, and she done hyped you up, because that's what we're taught to do. We're taught to build, and we're taught to pour into that man. And she done hyped you up thinking that you Mr. Such Much. And instead of you pouring back into her, you go to the next one. 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 And that woman is crying over you and heartbroken, and you thinking it's because you be laying it down. No, it's because she wants you. That's why when that woman walks away, she really can walk away. Not because of anything sexual. Because it came from here. So when I'm putting these posts up, when I share certain things, it's not to bash all men. It's particular men. It's the men that's doing what the post is talking about. And if you're not that type of guy, who ain't talking to you? Keep scrolling, baby. It ain't about you. I wrote the song "Respect Me, B, I Birth You," and I had one guy came was like, "I don't listen to your music because you be cursing men and this that." I said I wasn't cursing men. I was talking about a particular type of man. The second verse says, to make the world what it is today, they moved the queen from grace. You belittled me and made me less, said I'm the rib and not the way. When they put us on that ship, I gave you milk from my breast to keep you fed and strong. How dare you do me wrong? Because when he beat you after death, I spread my legs for him. And when he noosed you around the neck, I gave head to him. I gave you life and saved your life more times than I can name. And every chance you get, you bring me to an open shame. You owe me more than what you giving me. I made you to protect me, but you killing me. I was talking about past tense. This is what the Black woman has had to do. When Master was about to kill you, she had to make some sacrifices. She had to sacrifice her body. She had to sacrifice everything in her. Lay herself on the line so that he wouldn't hurt you. Bear his child so that he wouldn't hurt you. We on this, we traveling through. I got to feed you from my body, just like I got to feed Master kids, because you ain't got nothing to eat. went through. I just watched this lady on TikTok and she was in tears. She was like, I didn't know Black men felt this way about us until I got on TikTok. Y'all are constantly saying people are bashing y'all, but y'all are, the majority of y'all, it's so many podcasts bashing the Black woman. It's so many podcasts that's bashing the Black woman. It's always a problem with us. We either too masculine. Like this dude said, you homosexual. No disrespect. You have no fight in the issue. It's always a problem. It's always our fault. We're not understanding enough. We're not feminine enough. They try to compare us to say somebody said, oh, and it was a man that broke it down, and I love him for that. The Mexican woman will fix that man's food no matter what. Everything is always done in the home. She is taught from birth to serve her man, right? Yeah. And her father will get on her if she's not doing that to her man. But you got to remember that she is able to cook the food because the man provided the food. She's able to have the house a certain way because she's not working. She's taking care of the house because the man is out there busting his butt for pennies. This is the Mexican man, to make sure that his family is taken care of so that she can have his meal prepared and have the kids taken care of and have the house a certain way. Whereas that Black woman, as soon as we can work, we put out. We got to make it happen. And then we got to hold our man down till he get it together. Whether that's 4, 5, 10, 20 years, we ain't a real one unless we holding him down. And then the majority of the time, we hold him down, and then when he can help us, he leaves for what he really wants. And this is not hearsay. This is not my opinion. This is coming out of the men's mouth. Kanye said it before he did it. When he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. And what he did? He left the one he was with in the struggle for the white girl. What do you want from the Black woman, man? What do you want? Can anybody tell us specifically what you want? And now y'all got this thing. Will you bring it to the table? What table? Mine? So y'all go back and look at the post. Leave your comments. If y'all want to ask me anything, feel free. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry podcast. Shouts out to Jen for participating and stating her opinion. And as y'all can see, we didn't have the same ideology. We didn't agree, but we were able to talk. You shouldn't have to bash me or belittle me or talk down to me to get your point across. And usually when people do that, it's something, it's more to the story. They upset. And y'all, this is called Black Smoke. It has no nicotine and no tobacco in it. And it's made from 100% fruit, and it's Black owned. So a lot of times that's something I use to calm my nerves, because it's a lot that y'all don't see. A lot of y'all sleep. A lot of y'all sleep and you don't want to wake up. So when you see me a little annoyed or frustrated, it's because y'all not even scratching the surface and y'all fighting over stuff that ain't gonna get us to the next level. And these people moving. These people moving quick. Currency, the way we spend money is about to change. It's changing. It ain't about to change. It's changing. They're taking a lot of your rights away. Every day, we are losing our rights. We are losing our privacy. Every day, y'all. And y'all still fighting over homosexuality. Every day they're pushing the pedophilia agenda. Every day they're bombing Black and brown people overseas for no reason. We're being lied to every day. They're poisoning our foods every day, and y'all fighting over homosexuality. You don't have to agree with it. The majority of homosexuals don't believe in them pushing homosexuality onto anybody on TV or grooming children. The majority of people who are in same-sex relationships do not agree with what they're doing. As a matter of fact, there's a group called Homosexuals Against Grooming. But y'all not paying attention. There are soldiers that are speaking out against 9/11 and against the president that lied to us and caused all these people to die. There's people that's talking and telling you these people are lying. They lied during the war. They lied and caused this war. They lied and caused us to get killed, and our friends are dead, and all these innocent people over here are dead. Gaddafi, they killed Gaddafi. They portrayed Gaddafi as a bad person, but Gaddafi had his nation to where education was free. Nobody was homeless. Food was free. If they wanted to come to America to study their education, they could do that, and they would pay for it. But we are supposed to be the land of the free, and we are the most indebted people, the most imprisoned people, but y'all are fussing about homosexuality. That's why in the post, I'm like, you're not even on my level. I'm not saying that I'm better, but we're not even talking about the same kinds of issues. Like, you blind, like you stuck, like you here and we over here. Like, where's your mind? This is why I'm so passionate about what I do, because y'all, we are behind. As a culture, we are behind. Your focus is on the wrong thing. Black man, the black woman is not against you. Black man, the black woman is not against you. Black man, the black woman is not against you. Black man, the black lesbian woman is not against you. Black man, the black lesbian woman does not want to be you. Black man, the black lesbian woman does not hate you. What you should be doing is trying to figure out how you can join the equation. Not just sexually, but how you can add to, how y'all can build to become millionaires. Study polygamy, polyandry, and all these different things. Study it. That's our culture. It's not all of our culture. It's a part of it. Study it. If you want to go 50-50, that's probably the type of relationship you need to be in. But you got to hold your end of the bargain. Y'all hold me down till I get myself together. No. Take charge. Make it happen. Make it happen. And in the words of some more, and I'm still a effing lady. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry podcast. I love you. I like you. And I hope you got something from this. We are stronger together. I am not against anybody. Y'all wake up and read a doggone book. This just popped in my head, so I'm going to say the Bible is a book of law. Read it to understand it. The Bible is a book of law. If you learn it, the truth shall set you free. But you worry about who in my bed. My bed paid for. My bills is paid for. My house paid for and my car paid for. You worry about who in there? It paid for. Who done it? I did. And I just did it for myself. I did it for my daddy too. With my mind. What the Bible say? Study to show yourself approval. So stop looking at how you can attack me and try to understand what I'm saying. And stop responding to things that don't have nothing to do with you. Learn to keep scrolling. Everything don't deserve your response. If you're not what this person is talking about, don't say nothing. Keep scrolling. That doesn't concern you. It shouldn't concern you. Y'all go watch the live back over. Subscribe to the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry podcast. Available on Spotify, Apple, Anchor, and anywhere else. It's on YouTube as well, Kween Katt podcast. And yeah, share this video. Peace.